everybody! Welcome back to Northern Lion Plays The Binding of Isaac. Last run was comically easy. Not to be cocky, it's just you can look at the items. I didn't really have much to do with it. This one, we got Mongo Baby. Looks like a pretty good rate of fire and Crystal Ball. 0319 Jezo. Actually, I think maybe our range is good or our shot speed is good as well. But damage looks like it leaves a little bit to be desired. We have a dice room on the first floor. This one's weird. Truth be told, it doesn't really matter that much how this looks from a statistical standpoint because our tiers are going to be above average basically by virtue of having Mongo Baby, which fires twice as quickly as we do probably, thereby giving us a nice little extra boost of damage. But really what this floor comes down to is what's in that item room and do we have the ability to actually get to it? If we do, this could be very interesting. You know, normally it gives us not too much to talk about on the first floor. We just go to whatever the item room is and figure it out. Bomb bag, not particularly strong, but it does allow us a pretty good chance of getting that tinted rock. This floor is going to be very different than the norm. We should have something to talk about. Even a 4 gives us some strategical benefit. Even a 2 gives us some strategic benefit. The question is, do we want to spend 2 keys on it? And you know, to be honest with you, it's not really a question. If we get the keys, we will absolutely do it. And the only thing that I'm worried about is not getting enough keys. And even if we have, like, the ability to go to the shop, obviously we're spending a key to get to the shop. So, here we go. I'm very interested to see how this works out. And I guess I'm hoping for, like, a 5 room. Strategically speaking, a 5 room is probably best. Give us an extra free item room and an extra free boss room. But for fun, a 1 or a 6 could be interesting. We get a 3. This rerolls all consumables on the floor. So I used it right off the bat. Just to reroll the golden chest, because I couldn't open them anyway. You could argue, of course, that I could go to other rooms and, you know, maybe get some more consumables on the ground before rerolling it, but we at least broke even. There are worse outcomes to get from it. Wow. There are worse outcomes to get from a double dice room, and these pills. Pheromones. Telepills. Well, that's convenient. 48-hour energy. Well, I'm glad I didn't reroll that. That is beautiful for us. 2 more spirit hearts and a stars card. Tears down is terrible. Well, telepills once more, and we found ourselves in a pride fight, which is not that bad. At least 1 more room for us to get a crystal ball charge. We'll go back and we'll get the, well, maybe we won't get the stars card. We got Judgment, we got Hermit. I think we use Hermit, go to the shop, hopefully buy a bomb, and then we can go up and access this tinted rock. This is just a puzzle box of a floor. It's very interesting. Thank you for not pushing that as far as you could have. Gave us another bomb out of it. Okay, let's go back before I forget. The stars card may or may not be that valuable, but anyway you slice it, it does save us a key, and that's the kind of thing that in the early game can make a pretty big difference. So, I'm disappointed with the tears down, but apart from that, I'm really pleased with the fact that we got like 3.5 spirit hearts for it. So, 48-hour energy pills in our rotation with an item that's as utility driven. I tried to save that at the last second. Sextant? Okay, I'm gonna need to leave. No, I'm sticking around for the long haul here, but I'm a little surprised at my inability to speak. Let's make it down here. No tinted rock on this room. When there's no enemies, it's very nice, or, you know, bad enemies, it's very nice. You get an opportunity to scan, find the tinted rocks, pick up another bomb, another 2 bombs thanks to bomb bag. I'm not too worried about getting above 5 cents. I mean, it would be nice, but it's not really that big of a deal in the whole scheme of things. I'm just going to focus on getting down to the next floor. You know, we spent a lot of time relative to your average first floor here, and we got some pretty decent advantages out of it. I mean, statistically, we actually got a downgrade, but I'm really happy about the 48-hour energy that allowed us to get enough spirit hearts to not at all have to worry about losing our deal with the devil. And, you know, if that's what it takes to get that, if it takes the tears down to get that, so be it. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up a PhD or something later, and then we can turn that tears down into a tears up if we ever see it again. Or maybe we'll just never see it again, which is also totally fine with me as far as I'm concerned. Well, boss trap room, always a little bit of a double-edged sword here. We can't get into it without an arcade, so it's pretty unlikely we'll have to worry about it. Actually, we could, if we have full HP but lose like 2 red heart containers on a deal with the devil, we could swing it. Alright, so let's hold out hope for that. We could use our stars card there. We could use our stars card to get out of a... oh, we will open this just to see. We could use our stars card to get out of a curse room, or we could just use our stars card to save a key if we want to. With or without riding a cowboy to make it, you know, palatable by the big and riches of the world. There is a curse room. Okay, so let's take advantage of that. Another hermit card as well. Well, now we can use our hermit card to get out of the curse room, and we can use our stars card for whatever the heck we want. You know, we got a lot of teleportation cards. That's something you'd expect to happen with Crystal Ball. It is happening with Crystal Ball, and that was just not too much value there whatsoever. Not really interested in small baggy. I think that small baggy is a relatively shit item. Even shittier than shit because it's not just useless, it's actually... a lot of the time, it's actually, like, demonstrably bad. I think we're just gonna stars to save ourselves a key. It's a bit of a weird one. I'm not thrilled, I've got to admit. Dark Bum is a lot better than Bum Friends. But we didn't really... That's a false dichotomy, you know? Just because they're similar items, they're not pulled from the same pool or anything like that, so... we'll just move along, and I'm still happy with our HP and our stats on a relative basis, but certainly this floor has stunk it up a little bit in regard to our... you know, continual effort to improve ourselves. More bombs, more money. Let's try not to lose any more HP. That was a grand experiment that failed there, me using my orbital. I don't think I have... Oh, man, I don't think I have quite enough damage to justify that on a consistent basis. And 2 bombs for a Tinted Rock does not bother me. We got one of those back there, and another Spirit Heart as well. Could prove to be pretty important. No Tinted Rock on this room, but a bomb and a key is a nice payout. And it's the Haunt, which is not so bad for a number of different reasons. 1, we actually have a pretty good counter to the Haunt with Cube of Meat. The little Haunts die relatively quickly. 2, we also have a couple of bombs that make our lives a lot easier there, as you can see. And even just that by itself, I think, is enough to tip the balance where we probably don't have to worry about this fight at all, if we ever did. Also, Crystal Ball is going to be done charging after this room. That was very dumb damage, but we're not going to, you know, pay dearly for it. Alga's Rune's pretty good. Mom's Heals is not. And 3 red chests. This room, such a disappointment. We got 1 Spirit Heart out of it, and pretty much just have to go down to the next floor, feeling like a little bit of wasted potential there. Would have loved anything, but we didn't get worse on that room, or on that floor, I should say, but we certainly didn't get very much better. And now we're in this awful purgatory where we don't have a deal with the Devil Precedent. So we really want to work towards that as soon as possible. So we're kind of like, for the first time in this run, we're at the whim of RNG. If RNG decides that, you know, we deserve a deal with the devil on this floor, when we don't take red heart damage, the odds are not there to help us out there, but it's always possible that could happen, and if it does, all of a sudden we can get back on track very quickly. If it doesn't, and we keep getting items that are not particularly strong, like Deck of Cards when we already have Crystal Ball, this could be a very interesting situation for us. You know, the nightmare scenario, of course, is that you miss this deal with the devil on this floor for one reason or another. Like, you qualify, but they don't give it to you because of probabilities or the penalty from the last floor. And then, you know, you maybe even miss the one on the next floor, which is totally possible, statistically speaking. Then you get, like, a Krampus fight or a shitty angel room after that, and you go the whole run, like, qualifying for deals with the devil, but never really getting them, despite the fact that you, on an average run, would probably have gotten them or deserved them. But let's not sweat it. You know, we have 3 HP. We have Crystal Ball. The run can't be going that badly, because I did think it was appropriate to pick up Wiggle Worm. You don't pick up these shitty worm trinkets. And I say shitty as, like, a friend would say, like, hey, you know, your life is really shitty. You know what? That wasn't really where I wanted to go with that one. That person does not sound like a friend indeed. We will just let this guy crash into our cube of meat like a dude who's a big fan of a Dave Matthews Band song or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're still, thanks to Mongo Baby and our starting HP, basically, we're still doing okay here. And can't forget Crystal Ball helping out from time to time. Telepills. Algas is pretty good. I don't know what we use Telepills for here in particular. I guess we could use Telepills to get out of our curse room or to get out of our boss trap room. It's a mob trap room, but whatever. We'll see what's in our mob trap room, if it's even worth the effort here. I think we should use the Chaos card on this floor and save the Algas Rune, because the Algas Rune is basically... It is a Chaos card. It's a free room. We're not going to take damage, in all likelihood, on the room where we use the Algas Rune because we have Cube of Meat. So we might as well use Chaos card on this floor and save Algas Rune for maybe a room later that's a little bit tougher even. I know it seems ridiculous, but I do think that from a strategic standpoint... Lemon Party's not bad. From a strategic standpoint, you're probably better off doing things the way we're doing them right now. Unfortunately, I was a little bit short-sighted and still should have taken Telepills. I don't know what I was expecting to find in the curse room that warranted the use of a Chaos card, but here we are. Still going strong. Gotta rely a little bit less on Cube of Meats. I really, really hope we do not have to deal with a another, like a Pestilence fight right now. I think that would be so bad for business. Now, again, this is where I much prefer that trinket. This is where we find out if we're going to be, you know, back in the saddle. That's very good. It's where we find out if we're going to be back in the saddle or if we're going to be, you know, relegated to an also-ran here, basically. Good use of the Chaos card, in my opinion, at least. We get another range upgrade. Cube of Meat, range upgrade, range upgrade. I mean, the range upgrades are bad, or not useful, at least. At least Cube of Meat gives us much more offensive push, but, there's really nothing we can say about these range upgrades that we can really, you know, be positive about. That is so useful. I'm so glad I went into that room. We'll take Contract from Below. We'll open the other red chest just to show my thanks, I think. And we'll get Goathead. Oh my god. Wow. You know, probably 50% of the time I went through that situation, or if I were going through that situation, I probably would not have even done this room. You know, it's easy to get in that defeatist mindset of like, oh, you know, they're just red chests, maybe they're not likely to pay out, just pay out with spiders like the curse room did, blah, 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 blah. We've completely changed our run now. We have deals with the devil and the precedent, like non-stop deals with the devil and the precedent to back it up. Contract from Below by itself is not an incredible payout for us, but now we have nothing to worry about. Precedent and the guarantee that we're going to get them in the future is extremely important. So we want our Algiz rune back. I want my Algiz back, Algiz back, Algiz back. I want my Algiz back, I want my Algiz back. I want my Edmund's favorite rune. Algiz rune back, Algiz rune. Okay, we're gonna stop. Barbecue sauce. Okay, now we're gonna stop. I don't know if that's Edmund's favorite rune, by the way. I don't have any. That was just speculation. You know, you can ask him or don't. You know, it's meaningless information. It's not gonna have a big impact on your life. His favorite rune, you know, how would you deal with it if his favorite rune was like, or his favorite rune was something stupid like Burkano, right? That you'd probably lose a lot of respect for him. Never meet your heroes, people. Okay, 4th floor, and from the jaws of very slight mediocrity, we have pulled out above average chances of victory. 48-hour energy was a total waste there. Just a whiff and a half. Like, no reason to use it there instead of a room later. Double bad trips, not that interested. Algiz beats the Fool, but oh, God. I will admit, you know what? I'm going to pop Algiz here, and I know that that's going to seem like a total waste, but look at how quickly it goes through this envy. You know, this is like getting a massage. It's expensive, but, you know, you're making a decision to dedicate some time for yourself. You know, the use of that Algiz rune, it's not without merit, or it's not without, it's with a heavy heart. That's what I'm trying to say, that I use the Algiz rune on a situation like that I completely put myself into, but at the same time, I'm very happy that we didn't have to deal with our relatively low damage on that Envy fight. Hopefully the next time we see Envy, he will be quaking in his boots because we will be doing a lot more damage as a result of our deals with the devil. But we got a long way to go before we get there, and I'm taking some damage I'm not particularly thrilled with in the process here. That is another bad trip pill. Another one. Hopefully we can find something useful for those in the future. I'm not going to worry about boss rush. I'm honestly just happy to be alive here. Double key room for absolutely nothing unless we get a drop here. 2 cents. 2 keys for 2 cents. Would have only been 1 cent were it not for Contract from Below, so there is that, but that's a disappointment. It would be awesome. That was not what I was hoping for. I am going to take Liberty Cap. It would be awesome to get Magic Mush on that room. Did not work out. That's okay. It'll start being not okay pretty soon, depending on what we get payouts for from Crystal Ball next, but we'll see. Money's going okay, and our Curse Room just comes through in the clutch again. Allows us to pick up Dark Matter a little earlier than we normally would have, but oh god. The big draw is that Spirit Heart there, which I turned into a half Spirit Heart, but at least I had the wherewithal to get back in and out quickly there. Dark Matter, Fear Shot I could care less about. I'd maybe even consider it a negative, but definitely the +1 damage is going to be meaningful. That's one of the things we're lacking the most on this run. Now the real question is, are there any more range upgrades that the game could even give us? Any other statistical upgrade is pretty much better. I would rather have 1 Spirit Heart than a range upgrade in our situation. I would rather have a shot speed upgrade with nothing else attached to it than... I would rather have Pageant Boy than another range upgrade. Just a completely unremarkable, unpliable, non-malleable upgrade for us at this point. If you're gonna give me something that's normally considered not that marquee, just give me a speed upgrade. That's fine by me. Now, we are gonna have to abuse our donation machine ever so slightly here. I do relish the opportunity to get champion belt. It's more beneficial for us if I can actually pick up the money instead of just letting it fall to bum friend, but this is what you get when you buy bum friend, or you pick up bum friend, so can't complain too hard. Pageant boy, oh, sorry, not pageant boy, champion belt, a decent get there. And anything that ups our damage, you know, damage upgrades were fast and furious on the last run, apparently precious and, you know, worth their weight in gold on this run. So we will take them wherever they're available. We can't afford to be passing any of them up in the interest of, I don't know, saving a couple of pennies here. And we're right on the borderline as far as HP goes. The borderline of, you know, where I feel comfortable, that is. Not particularly, oh man, some of the damage I've taken has been inexcusable, and I will be the first to admit to that. Guillotine is a real risk with how much dumb damage I've been taking, but maybe it's like a scared straight program or something like that, you know, that has nothing to do with, like, forced conversion therapy or something like that. You know, it's when they send those 13-year-old kids who have been arrested a couple of times to prison to get yelled at by current inmates. Maybe that's what guillotine can be for us. It can be scared straight. Maybe, you know what, it's a bit of a weak play, but I kind of want to get the battery. I think what I'll do is I'll bomb our donation machine until we get to 5 cents. And we got 6, and then I was going to say, we'll let Bum Friend pick up some money, and maybe he'll be able to pay out with something. And then we'll just go into our next couple of rooms. Ideally, we could get a play and then get a battery charge. There is a Tinted Rock on this room as well, so this could work out for us. Maybe we can save our money, have a chance to get an arcade later in the game. But for now, what we're seeing is not only the result of some sloppy play for me, and again, I'll be the first to admit that, but we're seeing a little bit of the repercussions. I think that might be our second secret room. We're seeing a little bit the repercussions of not ever getting any HP ups here, and that's one that'll help us out right there, especially because we've already bought one on this floor. Like, we've already spent for a deal with the devil, so we're not going to end up spending any more. At this point, all we can do is gain HP, hopefully, at least on a statistical level. I don't think we're gonna need another charge on Crystal Ball, honestly. So I'm excited about that. Catacombs 2, we're way behind schedule for boss rush, but we got out of it. So I'll take what I can get there. Let's see what we've got on our boss fight. It's the Hollow, so because the Hollow's easy and we're not going to be in too much trouble here, I'm actually going to not use Crystal Ball, so we can just use it immediately on our next floor to kind of guide our actions. Probably should not be ignoring... Well, there's our speed upgrade. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. We probably should not be avoiding dead ends regardless, because they could have consumables in them, but I don't know what's good for me sometimes. Alright, so we'll pop this. We get another card, the World card, which is not useful. We will go to our secret room. I never would have expected our secret room to be here were it not for that Crystal Ball, so I really appreciate that. And we're hoping for guppy items, but direct damage is fine as well. Mark and Pact are common upgrades here. Also common, bunch of spiders, not going to dispute that. We might as well finish the room to get an extra charge on our Crystal Ball. And I'm thinking we fight the mini-boss. We have yet another double key room. This one is definitely a dice room. We have the keys necessary to take advantage of it, so might as well. It's a weird, backwards, upside-down world where, you know, the Fool is better for us, and we have no chance of boss rush than the world is, but that is the world we're living in right now. And I kind of like it. We've gotten a lot of momentum recently, at least. Another tarot card, the Hanged Man. Better than both of them, probably, although I think what I will do is take the Fool, see if we can teleport to do yet another early deal with the devil in this mob trap room. Does happen from time to time. And get something good here. Just 2 regular chests, but at the very least, all the upgrades we're going to get here are free, so I'm not going to sweat that. And looking good in terms of buying an item from the shop. I'd prefer not to annoy our donation machine anymore, but we got to do what we got to do. That is Telepills. Does Telepills beat the Hanged Man? I mean, I could see an argument in both directions here, but I think it does. Hopefully some Black Hearts or Hierophant cards await us. Another World card. Well, we definitely don't need 2 of those on the same floor. Even though it does nothing, we might as well get rid of it just so it doesn't confuse me in the future. Alright. We're coming to the point where I'm like, maybe our best move is actually using our enormous dome as a as an orbital here. That was a huge help. I didn't think our bombs would get both of them, but I guess it was within the area of tolerance, which is good. Oh. That could be, I guess I would still want it to be Joker if possible. It's telepills, but we know where it takes us. Card against humanity. Oh, man. Let me out, please. 10 bombs. That is like a super waste of our time, unfortunately. We were already good on bombs, and we got bomb bag. Definitely don't need 2 bomb utility items. Let's see what we've got in our double key room. It's a 4 room. Definitely should have checked this before doing anything else. I'll take 3 cents so we can get into our shop. Are you gonna pay out? If you're gonna pay out, just come pay out, man. We can use the 4 room to reroll whatever gets paid out from the shop if there's no greed. Even if there is greed, if you drop Steam Sale, we can use it there. No greed. Okay. I think you have to buy it in order to reroll it. So I'm going to make a little bit of a suspicious decision here. Or a suspect decision. I don't think it's that suspicious. It's not like a, it's not a game of Clue or anything like that. Oh, God, I got trapped behind. Petrified poop. I didn't even see it there. I don't want it, but that's okay. We'll take Liberty Cap back. And we're going to pick up Petrified poop again by accident. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Really should have taken my time there. We get Blue Candle instead. And you know what? I do think I have to go with Blue Candle. Don't get me wrong. I love... Help me out. I love the Crystal Ball. One of the best defensive items in the game. But I feel if we kill enemies faster, we won't have to worry about our defense as much as we are right now. But it's one of those Isaac runs where we're making a tricky decision. I'll be the first to admit that this is one that could have an impact one way or the other. But we got to have the confidence necessary to follow it through. We don't have to do this room, but with the small room, I figured we might as well. This is botched. This is botched a little bit. All these champion gurglings. Did I get hit by the bullet there? Or did I get hit by a creep? Or the creep, not a creep, like Dota style. I'm hating this right now, I'll just tell you that much with authority. And that was actually surprisingly close again. Okay. That's perfect. You should be dead now. Close to it. And you are never going to come up here, which is a really good strategy on your part. I have to give you credit for that. Now, 9 lives would obviously be a fantastic pickup here, but it's really all about not fighting Krampus. Like, that's my #1 strategy right now. If we can avoid fighting Krampus, not because he's hard and will kill us, hopefully that doesn't even factor into it, but it just kills our momentum when it comes to a deal with the devil standpoint so much that we really, really would like anything but a Krampus fight. I don't care. Use as many bombs you need to use here. It's suboptimal, whatever. Most optimal thing is just making sure that we actually get some Demon Hearts, which we did. We got it on our first play, but how are we supposed to know, right? That's the variance that's kind of inherent in any game with RNG as a driving element. Blue Candle's not doing as much damage as I'm used to, and I'm a little sad about this. I don't think it's actually been nerfed or anything like that. I think I'm just maybe firing it a little too quickly. I'm missing my potential here. That could be our secret room. It's obviously not because we've already seen our secret room. Old habits die hard. We'll lose our mapping. I mean, that's the thing. We gain a lot of damage, and we can use it on every single room, but we lose not only the extra survivability, but we lose the mapping as well. Cushions the blow that we have Emperor card. It cushions it a little bit at least, but certainly that is going to be a negative for us moving forward. Oh, perfect. Stay there. Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, just get him to fall, and I had a bad feeling about that because Fear Shot activated at the worst possible moment, but we are 1 hit away from victory here. Little Gish is a good pickup for us, but not great, so hopefully our deal with the devil picks up the slack a little bit. And it's Krampus. It's funny, though, picking up that 1 Demon Heart completely changes the way I feel about this fight. I'm still not particularly happy about it. I would rather be getting an item for free. And we still might be getting an item for free if it's Lump of Coal, which it is not. But at least we're not on the brink of death like I thought we would be. So we go down 1 more floor. And this is a big one. We're going to be blowing up a lot of skulls, even in, normally non-economical situations like that. It's important for us That was a big, risky play there. It's important for us to get as many demon hearts as possible at the very least. Other consumables, also nice, you know, keys in particular, and money maybe to buy a spirit heart on this floor if we can. But we have to remember, we are the ones that gave up Crystal Ball, not the other way around. So if I end up losing as a result of not having HP, that's pretty much 100% something you can lay at my feet and say, you know, that was a mistake. World's card, that is valuable. Try putting this here. We'll use 2 bombs. I'm not going to sweat using more than that. Almost got me there. Hermit card. I'll tell you what. Well, what's this one? Hanged Man. Okay, well, Hanged Man in, and then we'll walk out. The other option was take damage on the way in and then Hermit out. We have Hermit, Emperor. Emperor is much more valuable. We could save a key with Hermit, but I think we're fine doing things this way. All right, we need to start whittling these guys down. Just avoiding them is not ever gonna, you know, give us any leverage here. Gotta actually get some kills. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, I did not expect you to be back so soon. All right, so we're on the second to last one. I think that one completely whiffed. What kind of champion are you? Oh, bullet champion. One more hit, I think. One more hit now. Surely one more hit now. All right, the dream is real. We have a library coming up. Hopefully bucks the trend of relatively insignificant reroll rooms, or, you know, special rooms. Although the 4 room did give us Blue Candle, which is going to be a defining element one way or the other. Book of Belial, non-stop deals with the devil, damage bonus. Honestly, none of this really helps us, unfortunately. Book of Belial, the damage bonus would be nice, but, you know, we already have unlimited deals with the devil. And we already have Blue Candle. So we are losing damage to gain damage. It's disproportionate, but I don't know in what direction. That's something for a more skilled Isaac player than myself, perhaps. That's bad damage, but I'm not going to sweat it too much because we have a Spirit Heart on this floor anyway, or on this room anyway. This is going to get real tricky real fast. I'm actually thinking that maybe this is one of those runs where I want to use the Emperor card on the Womb 1 to try to get that deal with the devil on... or the last deal with the devil that we have as soon as is humanly possible, and maybe we get a game-winning item there. That's a huge play as well, to be able to get, I gotta get the other one. We might as well, at least. Alright, we can see what we got. Yeah, the 2 extra demon hearts here are gonna be very meaningful. Let's see what we've got in our item room here. We've had shit item rooms all game, I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, I'm not complaining, really, that's just... That's Isaac in a nutshell. You know, some runs you get Proptosis out of a mob trap room, and then you end up picking up Death's Touch on your first deal with the devil, and you're just good to go forever. And then some runs end up a little bit more like this one, where you're working your ass off to try to make it happen. We get a Hermit card again, and an Emperor card. The other one was Lemon Party. Speedball. It is not good enough, let's put it that way. And we really want to go to our shop. Like, as much as the Judgment might be worthwhile. Oh, that small rock, that's actually pretty good for us now. It's good for us always, but now is part of always, last time I checked. We are in need of a little bit more HP, but we have Steam sales, so whatever's on here, we could blow up our donation machine to get it. We know there's not going to be greed. Everything's half price. I kind of feel like we say, you know what, donation machine, you've done a good job. I'm going to try to let this guy stop stealing your money. I know it's hard-earned. I keep messing up because of guillotine. Can't see where my hitbox is. There we go. The boomerang, just absolutely not worth it. And we will get that. Okay, well, ended up not being particularly good. I feel pretty bad about it. We took a lot of money out of our donation machine there. But this deal with the devil could turn it completely around. And this is actually a fight that we should consider probably we're going to be pretty strong on. Because of the fact that we don't have orbitals. We have orbitals and are an orbital. So all we really need to do is direct our big melon, and I mean head in this case, not, you know, mammaries, on top of our mom's foot, and it died in no time flat. We get 9 lives. This is exactly the item that I feel that we needed. I'm very excited now. Now you think, do we use Emperor here? Or do we save it and try to pull it a little bit later? And now that we have 9 lives, I do think that we can afford to be a little bit more aggressive I do think that using the Emperor card on this floor is a little bit of a conservative play, actually. Like, it's a play that's made with your own death as, like, the defining characteristic. You know, that's the motivation for it. That should do it. I'd rather lose a couple of lives here, and, you know, as a trade-off, we'll save our Emperor card and be able to use that to get through the entire chest instead of using the Emperor card here. I really think the Emperor card is basically as valuable as a full health pill. Oh, this is big. We can see where we're going. We'll try to the left. If not, it's probably down, but at least we know a little bit of our direction here thanks to Liberty Cap. Still pretty weak damage, and, you know, part of that is Fear Shot. Fear Shot makes enemies move in kind of erratic, unpredictable patterns, and that leads to a situation in which I'm unhappy with. Because, again, an enemy's predictability is really your strongest element. You know, they have a huge numbers advantage. You fight like 100 enemies, well, probably more like 300 or 400 enemies over the course of your average Rebirth run. I don't know, that would be interesting to work out. You gotta think, you're doing like 10 floors, roughly. 30 enemies per floor, that's only like 4 enemies times 7 rooms, roughly. Or we could say 5 enemies times 6 rooms. But I think the average number of enemies on a room, or at least the median number of enemies on a room is probably 4. Might as well use a bomb to do this. Might be able to get a little lucky, find a secret room. It was a tall order, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. It doesn't matter that much. This is very good for us. Instead of losing 1 red heart, or 1 spirit heart, we lose 1 spirit heart, but gain permanent Polaroid invincibility. And now we're 1 guppy item away from becoming guppy. That would be a really fast guppy transformation for us, from 0 to guppy in just about 1 floor. But we need this deal with the devil to give us guppy, and that's probably, you know, you're looking at maybe a third, a quarter as your odds. Either way, I'm really glad we didn't use the Emperor card here, and we should be able to get through the next floor relatively scot-free. If that happens, we get to the Cathedral. Maybe you pop the Emperor card right away on the Cathedral. Maybe you have Liberty Cap and you can see where the enemies are, like where the boss room is, and then you decide to just take it down the normal way and then use it on the chest instead. I do think it's strategically better to use it on the chest, unless you're gonna die if you don't use it on the Cathedral, or you think there's a good chance you'll die if you don't use it on the Cathedral. Tough dodging here with Guillotine. And I've got to admit, Guillotine scares me a little bit because the last huge streak we had, we lost. I wouldn't say as a result of Guillotine, but as a result of Guillotine combined with terribly low damage, that made it impossible for me to compensate for the fact that I couldn't see where I was going. Made for a tough run. And this has to be the luckiest deal with the devil if one of these red chests has a guppy item. Say it ain't so. 4 spirit hearts is a great payout. But I don't think we can afford to get rid of Blue Candle here for White Pony, even though I think White Pony is actually a pretty good item. It's the easiest room of our lives. We might as well take it. You never know if maybe we get Sad Bombs or something and that becomes a huge damage dealer for us later in the game. This room, though, is just a waste of our time, unfortunately. Luckily we... Oh, yeah! That's like the 2nd time in history I've taken damage against those enemies. That's not even tooting my own horn. It is like, you know, tripping over your own shoelaces and falling down the stairs. That's pretty much where we're at there. That's a spirit heart that we should not have lost. Still, a small chance. A glimmer in the eye socket of RN Jesus for us to become guppy. It can happen. I'm not going to sweat those 2 bombs back there. I'm just going to book it. Take the key, of course, because, well, I have a bias towards keys. They give me items. Bombs can, but it's much rarer. If only because stone chests are much rarer than golden chests, I'm not sure. Rock tinted. Okay, we'll pop this one down here. We can make it into this room. Do we have anything? Oh, we have to do it. I mean, I'm mostly just lazy. I don't really want to fight these enemies. But we should do it, and 48-hour energy is just terrible with the items we've got in here. I hate this decision, because Blue Candle is a big reason that we're still in this here. But I got to admit that it's so tempting to take Oh, let's telepills out. I don't want to fight the rest of the enemies. We've already been down here. You know what? Sure. I think we'll get rid of Blue Candle and we'll take Pandora's Box. It has the potential to snowball for us. It could be a... Oh, my lord. Could be a game-losing decision. Oh, my god. In picking up Pandora's Box, I have to fight the enemies again. I should have known that, to be honest with you. That's the other one. 48-hour energy. Well... I gotta admit, you know, this is your second chance, Blue Candle, and you're doing a great job of convincing me. Maybe we'll use Blue Candle for the rest of this floor, then we'll take Pandora's Box up to the next floor. So if it sucks, at least we haven't wasted a little bit more time using it. You know, we have the speed necessary to get around here, but we really, really should not be absent-mindedly walking on spikes. That's some Bush League, like, episode 200 Northern Lion stuff. But at the same time, you know, the more HP I have, the more apt I am to lose it. That's just Northern Lion law, number one. Because Pandora's Box doesn't give us anything of value here. 2 keys or a couple of bombs. Probably a couple of bombs is better value for us. Come on, come on. And we got 1 key for 1 key. At least we juiced up Bumfriend a little bit. This would be a great time to make me guppy if you're interested. That's telepills again? Tears down. Wow, not even close. I gotta try. Oh, it worked! Okay, we are now guppy. That means we probably do not need Blue Candle as much anymore. I do want that key still. And instead, we could probably just go back, make sure we don't forget Pandora's Box. That is probably our game right there. And, you know, definitely something to be said about getting carried in the late game, but at the same time, we had to survive long enough to get carried. Not a... Oh, man, just terrible walking here. Not the world's worst run, but certainly a run that ended up being a little bit more difficult. And you know what? I just feel like keys are overrated in this day and age. I just used Pandora's Box because I felt like I had Blue Candle. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go never play Rebirth again because I am a fraud and a poser. Yeah, that could be fun. Let's take Pandora's Box and then use it immediately. I think it's fair to say this should probably be my last Rebirth run for the day. A little bit scatterbrained, apparently. I entertained the thought of not even going back and getting Blue Candle and punishing myself and being like, you know what? That's a mistake that's stupid enough. You know, you don't get a Blue Candle. Bad Northern Lion. Blue Candle's for winners. Anyway, we are going to win. It's hard to tease that away in Isaac, but you can still win on a shit run. Or on a run where you played shittily, and you can still lose on a run where you play fantastically. But what you don't want to do is lose on a run where you play shittily. That's what creates the problem. And of course, I also carried the Tears Down pill with us for longer than is sensible. Why would I ever use this without having a PhD or something like that? And please do not use any more keys willy-nilly. There's barely any more keys to use willy-nilly, but still, we should really avoid this. And we could play that Judgment, but I don't really care. We got the Emperor card, and I'm thinking now, in a weird way, we're strong enough that we should probably just use the Emperor card right away so we can speed up the game a little bit. I know I've been doubling back on this a little bit. Oh, you should only use Emperor card on the Cathedral if you think you're going to die on the Cathedral. That way you can get the extra items on the chest. But the corollary is, if you're probably going to beat the game anyway, why not speed up? Why not skip the part of the game where you're not getting items to get to the part of the game where you're getting items? You know, there's 2 sides to every coin. As Dr. Phil says, no matter how thin the paper is, it's still got 2 sides. And that's where we're at right now. Not a great Dr. Phil impression, I'll admit, but, you know, life goes on here. Definitely don't want to fight that room. What a convenient excuse to pop this card. It's almost as if I set that up. No. Alright. First phase of the Isaac fight is done. I'd still like to not take damage here. We could find ourselves in a slightly tricky spot. It's unlikely. But, you know, it takes us a while to find the boss on the chest. We get shitty chest items, and we start hemorrhaging damage a little bit. You know, a hit here and there. That's how they get you, man. You know, they're nickel and diming you. You nickel here, nickel there. You go, oh, you know, no big deal. It's just a nickel. Then at the end of the month, you're like, man, I spent a lot of nickels. I don't have any HP left. Yeah, okay, we'll take everything. It ruins our invincibility, which sucks real bad. We're not going to take Monster Man. Well, that was my mistake. We're not going to take everything. Come on now. But sure, we'll take Tiny Planet. I don't like to shy away from items like this. I think learning to use these items is not compulsory, it's not mandatory, but it's part of what makes Rebirth so fun for me, is that there's these items that are just ridiculous. Not even ridiculous good or ridiculous bad, just ridiculous. Midas Touch shows up, and I'm very happy to have it. Midas Touch, of course, is like the quintessential Unicorn Stump companion. Even without Unicorn Stump, though, you know, we've got Celtic Cross, and we've got brief periods of invincibility either way that allow us to do a lot of damage through this. And even, like, with only 7 cents, that's not that bad with Midas Touch. Midas Touch is still going to kill. Little Haunt is a fine pickup. We already have Fear Shot anyway, so it's not like that's compromising our run in any way. On top of Little Haunt, we got something. Oh, the Soul. Yeah, the Soul I'm happy to have. Dark Bomb, Magic Fingers. I heard damage is pretty good. We don't need Blue Candle, but we also did recently have a Magic Fingers run that was really strong, so I don't feel any compulsion to necessarily go for that. Kind of hoping that there was Undefined in here. It was like a 1 in 50 shot, but worth a shot. Why am I picking up the money instead of Bum Friend? Because we have Midas Touch. And this guy's going to pay out with consumables. Sure, that's, you know, not awful in many situations, but I'd rather have the extra damage for myself, if possible. If we ever get to use some invincibility from Celtic Cross, which honestly, the reason we're not getting invincibility from Celtic Cross right now is because we're not getting hit, so I am happy to see it. And, you know, Dark Bomb has the unfortunate distinction of showing up a little bit after he's even necessary at all, you know. He would have been lovely a couple of floors ago before we really got into a tight spot. Now, or when we were really in a tight spot, I should say, but now we are just sitting pretty, and there is nothing that they can do to stop us. So I'm going to get in here. You know, we have Midas Touch again. That's why we're able to get through this so quickly. One of the reasons, at least. And we have already finished this pretty much just by being in the right place at the right time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.